Sociologists are like detectives, trying to understand the world around us by studying people and their interactions. To do this, they use different research methods, which are like tools in a detective's toolkit. One of these tools is the interview, a way of gathering information by talking to people and asking them questions. Interviews are conversations with a purpose. Unlike casual chats, interviews are usually planned in advance, and there's a clear difference in roles between the interviewer, the researcher, and the interviewee, the person being interviewed. The interviewer's goal is to gather information, while the interviewee's goal is to share their experiences and perspectives. There are different types of interviews, each with its own structure. In a structured interview, the interviewer asks the same set of questions to every interviewee in the same order. This is like using a survey questionnaire in person. The questions are usually closed-ended, meaning the interviewee has to choose from a set of predefined answers. This type of interview is easy to replicate and analyze, but it doesn't allow for much flexibility. On the other hand, unstructured interviews are more like free-flowing conversations. The interviewer has a list of topics they want to cover, but they can ask questions in any order and follow up on interesting points. This type of interview allows for more in-depth exploration of a topic, but it can be harder to analyze the data. Semi-structured interviews are a mix of both, with a set of predetermined questions, but also room for follow-up questions and open discussion. Interviews are particularly useful for gathering qualitative data. Qualitative data is information that can't be easily measured with numbers, like people's opinions, experiences, and feelings. For example, a sociologist might use interviews to understand how people experience grief or cope with a social problem. By asking open-ended questions, the researcher can gain rich insights into the interviewee's perspective. One example of a sociological interview case study could be research on the experiences of immigrants in a new country. A researcher might conduct in-depth interviews with immigrants to understand their challenges, successes, and feelings about their new lives. This type of study could reveal valuable information about the integration process and the impact of immigration on individuals and communities. Interviews have several advantages as a research method. They allow researchers to gather detailed information about people's experiences and perspectives. They also provide flexibility to explore unexpected topics or ask follow-up questions. However, interviews also have limitations. They can be time-consuming and expensive, and the data can be difficult to analyze. Additionally, people may not always be honest or accurate in their responses, especially if the topic is sensitive. It's important to consider the ethical implications of conducting interviews. Researchers need to protect the privacy and confidentiality of their interviewees. They also need to obtain informed consent, meaning that interviewees understand the purpose of the research and agree to participate. In some cases, it may be necessary to protect the identity of interviewees by using pseudonyms or removing identifying information from the data. Overall, interviews are a valuable tool for sociological research. They allow researchers to gather rich qualitative data about people's experiences and perspectives. By carefully planning and conducting interviews, sociologists can gain a deeper understanding of the social world and the people who live in it.